Welcome back, guys, to the final episode of Season 4, and maybe the final episode ever, but maybe not. 4th place Coventry City versus 12th place Ipswich Town. We've lost a bit of momentum since you were with us. There is 4 games of the season left. Let's get into it. So, a 2-1 defeat to Forest last time out. Gary Speed and Alan Johnson with the goals. Stan Collymore with a goal for us. Richard Wright not have his finest game. A 3-1 humbling to Norwich. The final game that Darren Eadie will be playing in against Ipswich before his transfer to the money laundering club, Real Madrid, who are taking yet another player on a free. And also the final game of Craig Bellamy, who is off to Celtic. So sorry Norwich fans. I didn't even let you enjoy your derby win before delivering the bad news. 1-0 defeat to Bolton. Just cannot beat them. Played them 4 times now. Lost all 4. 0-0 draw with Newcastle was the game prior, immediately after that 1-0 win. The marquee win versus Arsenal. So being safe, getting such a big win, seems to have impacted us. If we have a look at the league, let's go to relegation, Cam. So Wimbledon, Chelsea, Blackburn, Sunderland, Bolton, Forest, Wolves, Birmingham, then ourselves. Norwich are arguably clear. So we're kind of still in the relegation battle, but I would say there's no need for my new pressure cam, which is what I have set up just in case it is needed. So here it is here, direct look into my face. So hopefully that's going to be the only time we need that poorly lit camera angle for the entire episode. We're going to get into this game versus Coventry. We've already played them once before. It was a draw. They are 4th place, though. They are up there. Didn't even cover this. Man United champions yet again. So they have wrapped that up with, they've got 5 games to spare. Coventry, though, up there. They've got a chance of getting that 4th place spot. We have applied for the Intertoto Cup. If by some miracle we get in the Intertoto Cup, there will be a 5th season. Otherwise, we'll probably move on to another game, and we might be able to return to this later in the future, because I even know I've said this before, that I'd like to return to some of the games, and not yet done it, but that is something that I have considered. So going forward, though, we're going with this formation. Let's give this a full screen just to have a look at this, because we've got some changes here. So Richard Wright, who made it into the Premiership Team of the Year. Robertson at left back. We've got Hayden Mullins at right back due to injuries. Hopia and Walwork. Keats and Holland behind Minishi, and then we've got Hughes, Hartson and Collymore, because in his last game David Johnson played a 4. So if you have a look at Richard Wright, though, if you have a look at his overall rating, 7.42, he is one of the players of the season in the league for anyone. So I'll tell you what, we mentioned it, let's have a look. I believe it's in here. Oh, so that was last week. Players Team of the Year, Richard Wright, there he is on the bench. So he's behind John Sheffield, who is also in front of him in the England squad at the minute, because he is back in the England squad. But neither of them have had a cap yet. But can we get some momentum going and end the season on a high? And Terry Cook will not be taking free kicks because he is injured. So we're going to do the format, because there's 4 games. We're going to go very fast, then fast for the second halves. And we are in the glorious Ipswich Orange. Can we get a win at Highfield Road? Loved Highfield Road. I went here a couple of times. I was always a big fan of it. And there it is, John Hartson. He's not scored many goals this year. That is only his 4th goal, his 4th league goal at least. He has found this year a struggle, but he has scored here at Highfield Road. And once we've got to half-time, we will have a look at Coventry and see why they're doing so well this year. So they've gone for 4-4-2. They've got Casey Keller. He's decent, good reflex. Well, his reflex is already 13, actually. I was getting that confused with positioning. David Weir, Marcus Hall, Sean Archibald, Carl Tyler, George Boateng, David Thompson, Mark Draper. Well, how's Mark Draper on here? He's okay, isn't he? He's got all-round stats. And if they got up the front, they've got Stern John, I remember now. And they had Heskey last time, but they've replaced him with Laurie Dudfield, who's got great shooting and good off the ball. To say, well, I wonder why he's coming. I wonder if Heskey's injured. Is Heskey on the bench? They've got Jason Newell on the bench. It's good to see our old boy back. How much has he's not even scored a goal this year for them, has he? He's got a few in the cup. And he got 11 for them last year, so I'm like, maybe we could tempt Jason home. So on to fast. 29,000, so that's had an extension, and the 29,000 fans, or the home fans at least, will be going crazy because that is Carl Tyler, and he is a terrible rated player. That's his first ever goal. Perfectly timed tackled by Keats, though. Oh, and Hartson, he's put that one over the bar. And Hartson looks like he is having a good game here. Lee Hughes is on his 6, so he is at danger of going off. Perfect block. I think it was Archibald from Keats. Oh, header from Yule and his old teammate Richard Wright with the save. That's why he needs to be in the England team. Right, it is David Johnson time. And every time we bring David Johnson on, it's potentially his last appearance. Now, it's been a bit of an anticlimactic second half, and there are. Mark Draper, he has scored. That's his first ever goal for Coventry. I will never tire of seeing that from players who've just scored past me. Terrible effort by David Johnson. Oh, things are ending. They're doing counter-attack. Things are ending just as we expected them. Well, just as they started, even. Right. I've not done this in a while, but we're gonna push these guys on. See if we can get them a bit further forward. Oh, Collymore played through by Nishi. Brilliant shot and a brilliant save. Johnson almost got lucky with that. Oh, and Jason Newell, he has come back to haunt us, applies the finish. Surely that settles us. Let us get on Rudy and let us get on Parker. Because that midfield is not working. We are 3-1 down. And better teams than us will have lost at Highfield Road on this series. Because if you've followed from season 1, Coventry have been one of the real, I would say, dark horses. But when you've been up there as long as they now have, they've just established themselves as a kind of top 5, top 6 team. And Collymore has got one back in for us. We've got 6 minutes. Vital goal. Can we get an equaliser? Now, I've not even paid any attention to how Mullins has done it right back. Difficult chance. He was surrounded by defenders. Have we got one last attack in us? And there, it seems like they are just draining this game out now, draining the clock. Collymore's through, didn't do anything with it. I was like, is that a penalty? It's a free kick. This is still going 94. It's keeping my hope alive, but the hope has gone with the final whistle. Hayden Mullins has done a 6 at right back. That's his first ever performance there. Now look, sweeper, defender, midfielder, right centre. So he does have that in him. He's not got the best crossing stats, but he's got some of the other stuff to make up for it. And I'm disappointed with that. And we've slipped down another space. So look, Wolves have jumped ahead of us. So there's probably going to be no intertotal, sadly. But we have got Chelsea coming up. Last time we played them, we lost 4-0 to them in a friendly way back in the first season. And we drew 1-1 with them. It was just after they had fired Colin Lee. So if with nothing else, we've got a chance of trapping them. And it would be very fun to see Chelsea relegated in this era. Now, this just feels like a fun little story to jump back in on. Richard Wright finally has an England cap. First cap he has played in the 2-1 defeat to the Czech Republic. Vladimir Schmidt. So where is he? Has he been at HSV? He's come via Roma. And then Galasek with the goals. So Owen with a consolation for England. Well, not really a constellation, is it? Got them back in the game there at 2-1. But it's nice to see him finally get that cap. And not content with their absolute dream team, Lazio have now offered a contract to Paris Saint-Germain's JJ Okocha, along with Arsenal, if you see above there. He was a player I had on my shortlist, 28 years old. Just thought he would have been an excellent marquee signing at one stage, but he had no interest in coming to me. And Lazio, they've got even worse since you saw me talking about them, and you saw maybe saw my short that I pushed out on them, because they are now 10th. They have just considered Sven-Goran Eriksson's position as manager whilst we were away. And we've had a few injuries since you were last with us. So Mullins is now out. Laurie is back, so he can come in to his preferred right-back spot. Manishi has been injured, though, and I think I'm going to fire Gerrard. Now, Gerrard's not played much this year. He's had nearly as many subs appearances, and he's not pushed on as much as I would have hoped. But we are going to get him in. And everything else is as it is. So Laurie has come in at right back. Gerrard has come into midfield. Everything else is staying the same, though. Apart from that, I have missed that. Ronnie Warwick is out. So let's get Wilson in. Again, he's not played as much as I'd like. And we've got Chelsea, and we're going to go very fast once again for the first half. They're in the yellow. I was always a fan of this yellow kit. And we have scored it. It's Hartson again. Started slow last year. He started slow in his the first time with us even, and he's got a brace here. It's not even 15 minutes. Chelsea have scored one back, pulled one back there with John Harley. So an exciting. They've got Michael Knowles. Look, first half, at least so far. And that has flown by. So it is 2-1, half-time, shading the stats. Let's see what Chelsea are doing. A 4-2-4, short and offside trap. We're going down to fast. How are we doing? So Lee Hughes is on a 6. Are we going to do anything controversial here, or am I going to keep it? I'm going to keep him on. So 22,542. We thank you for your attendance today. Let's see if we can grab the 3 points and stop this winless run. And we left him on, and look how he has repaid us. Lee Hughes is the scorer, and that is only his 3rd goal of the season. I truly feel like we are a killer striker away from being much further up the league once we got our form sorted. Feels strange to be talking about needing a striker today when 2 of them have scored 3 goals, but you've seen the rest of the stuff. And this could be condemning Chelsea towards the dreaded drop. Now, again, since we've been away, a bit of world flavour. Sheffield Wednesday have now also secured promotion, so it is going to be Aston Villa and Sheffield Wednesday coming up. But Evans has scored. That's his first ever goal for Chelsea. Here it's Reece Evans. Where's he via? He's at Chelsea. He's been out on loan at Kettering, and then he's come in. Are they still in the conference? They are still in the conference. A year at Kettering, and then he's come straight back in to score his first ever goal in the Premier League. Is this his first start? Is his first start? They must have their own injuries. Can we get a Hartson hat-trick? A 4th, I feel like would really put this game away. Now, Gerrard is not doing amazing. Right, he's brought in the corner there. That's going to be one of his final actions because I am going to get on Scott Parker. And I'm going to say, Scott Parker, I just want you sitting in that midfield. Crawling around on the floor, heading balls away. Just doing all this Scott Parker stuff. Laurie plays it long for the head of Hearts, and that's what I want to see. I feel like Carl gets it. I really feel like Carl gets it. That is what we should be doing. Oh, the flag is up. Is this a penalty? This is a penalty. I was just about to look at making some changes. I am not going to. I'm going to see what happens here. Up steps Michael Moles. Bowles sends the keeper the wrong way. He scored, and it's his first ever goal for Chelsea. Why does Championship Manager 3 hate me in this final episode? It knew I was very excited that we'd had so many views and so many likes for the previous episode. I think it may have been a record by the time you see this up. Right, Keats to come off. Rudy on. Let's push the guys forward. Rudy, you get in there. I know that's crazy, but let's see what that does. That's disappointing. Never a pen. Let's start right there. And we're 15th. Maybe we are going to need the slightly overly blue pressure cam. Right, we're on relegation cam. Wimbledon, one of our previous teams on FA Manager on PlayStation 1, they are down. Chelsea, the point has kept them in it. We have slipped below our rivals from last year, Birmingham. So I would really like to have finished ahead of them. I feel like I feel like not beating Chelsea was potentially our last chance at winning. And then Hereford's average attention of 6,259 is a new record high. Are they top? They're 17th. Who is top in the conference? I'm suddenly very interested in this. It is Macclesfield. Such a brutal league to get on there. I once got trapped in the conference with Marine, and it took me years. I remember one time getting about 99 points or something ridiculous and finishing second. Now, JJ Okocha is off to the Dream Team, and Andrew Scally has requested to leave the slightly less dreamy team. He's unhappy with his current contract. I'll give you a new contract. He's only on £300 a week. It's weird that he's just come in complaining about that rather than asking for more money. Now, we'll give him more money. There you are. Is this going to smooth over everything? I clicked through that far too quick. Clauses, bonus. Let's try and jip him a little, because I'm not made of money. So things are not going well. I'm jumped back to a 5-3-2 attacking just to try and hold this a bit tighter in the second half and maybe see if we can nick a goal. So I've dropped Holland back into his right-hand centre-back spot, brought Parker on, Maniche behind Collymore and Hartson. Let's get it on direct, and let's get it on hard tackling. Let's see if we can rough up Leeds. Catch them with a change. And it looks like it's just made them more dominant, if anything. Although they just had a red card. Who is this? It's Phil Babb. Oh, and they've even with 10 men, they've scored past us. Let's get that on long. It's Lee Bowyer. That's disappointing. This has been such a disappointing end. I've folded my arms and it's done little. They've not even seen my disdain for that performance. What a shocking performance. Richard Wright, if you think you're getting back in the England squad, playing like that, look at Carl Laurie still on a 7. This lad can't help but try. Right, one game left. Relegation has not been decided. There is a chance for Chelsea to wriggle out of this. We are safe though. Coming into the season, if you had offered me safe going into a home game against Liverpool, then I would have taken it. But with the way this episode and the way the season has ended, look, We've not won now since that win over Arsenal. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we lose this game, it's a bit disappointing. I'm not going to lie. So we're going to get into the final game. Scally is annoyed that I've tried to jip him. Let's just offer him the full whack. And now we need to start thinking about, are we going to man mark George O'Callaghan? Because even there we go, Andrew's happy now. Even if he scores, having the chance to injure him would be a good way for me to end. I'm big enough to admit that I'm petty enough to say that. I think that made sense. Roma have won the UEFA Cup with a 2-1 win over Celta at Olympiacos, Roma. Right, so is there anyone to come back in? I would like Cook back. And I'm going to do it. Hughes has not been playing well. I'm going to play Johnson. I was going to move him into the middle where he's been scoring, but Hartson has been playing so well that I'm not going to. I am going to spin him with Collymore, though, because despite being left-footed, he got a lot of his goals from that right-hand side when he first came in. That was what was the making of him. And that's going to be it. That is what I'm going with. With Mullins not ready to come back. We're going on fast. Could be a final time at Portman Road. And let us see. Is the Nemesis playing? Oh, that's disappointing. He's not even there. Oh. And Hartson has scored. And I'm like, I've spent all this time hating George. Now he's not playing. I'm a bit like, what do I do? But Hartson, though, pleased with that. That's his 8th goal. Eight goals for a promoted side in and out the team is decent, I would say. If we could sign off with a win over Liverpool, I feel like that would give the fans hope going into next season. Carl Lowry pushing Robbie Keane there. I love Carl Lowry. Just need the left-sided version of him, which is ironically him, because he can play that side. Maybe he could be the left-sided and I could buy a new right-back. Collymore bears down on goal. Brilliant goal. A lovely Ipswich move. It's his 7th of the year. Don't throw it away. If only Collymore could have finished. Ooh, back off the crossbar. Now, I was going to say we could have a look at the league table at half-time, but that's not this game, is it? The league table is just going to take us to the league table at the very start, which isn't very useful. Owen denied a great goal. Now, it feels like there's been a lot of action in this game. Blasted at the top corner by Maniche, and it looks like a save. Have they got Robert Green in goals? They have. Has he been there this whole time? He's been there a while. And I'm like, Robert Green was at Clyde, but no, that's Championship Manager. That's not real life. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one who does that. You get confused between players' real careers and teams they have played for in your virtual careers. Oh, and it's a goal. Robertson, fine strike from 30 yards from the free kick. That is his 2nd goal of the year. He's still been a pretty integral performer for us. And he was someone who was kind of just brought in as a kind of stopgap. And he's now been here nearly 2.5 years. And we are 3-0 up against Liverpool. Final game of the season. Ipswich fans will be going mental. And I'm like, clean sheet, I would love, especially to half-time, not give them a chance. But a David Johnson goal would pretty much be the icing on the cake along with the 3 points. And it is half-time. We have bossed that. Look, Robert Green is playing a 4. Richard Wright is playing a 9. You've had all that time to buy him, Liverpool, and you've not done it. Johnson's playing a 7. Manish is playing an 8. Strikers are all on 7s. The only person that is down is Huppier. I'm going to take Huppier off. I'm going to bring me man on just because of that card. I've got the hard tackling on, and he's already on a card, and he's playing a 6. So let's get him off. There we go. Johnson is the scorer. It is number 4. It looked like a power header. I was too busy fist pumping. Double fist pumping. And look at this. And we're going into the 20 minutes left. First season back in the Premiership. 4-0. Cruising. Let's get another sub on. Owen has a dip. Owen has scored though. It's 4-1. And am I nervous? A little bit. A little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to get Holland off for Parker. And then we'll leave it at that. We'll leave a sub for the time being. Parker's coming on for Holland. It is 4-1. Michael, and what's Michael Cohen got next to go? So it's his 22nd goal. Look at that. There's lethal. What is he worth? 13 million. And we've got floodlight failure, but that's not going to stop the episode from going on. They've just taken off Robert Green, have they? Yes, they have. They are really unhappy with him. And Carragher's just been... But there's been no 30-yard wonder goals from him this time, has there? Oh, inches wide of the goal. Owen was away. He was off for a classic Owen goal there, wasn't he? We've got a minute left. I'm going to break... Oh, no. Owen has scored again. It's 4-2. Surely too late for Liverpool, but this is me. I'm going to break up the end part here. Let's take David Johnson off so the fans can give him a little warm round of applause, even though they're probably a bit nervous. How long is left? If they get another one, I'm hitting everyone back onto full defensive lines. Keane misses the target, and it's the final whistle. I was never worried. That was not worry on my face. It is 4-2, a 4-2 win over Liverpool. We were 4-0 up. Owen has grabbed a couple of goals left, a couple of goals back, but he's left it too late to save them. One-man team that they are. And look at that. You can't say we don't deserve that. Richard Wright, man of the match. We have finished 15th. Let's see what has happened though. Chelsea have lost. Chelsea have been relegated. Man United champions. Chelsea down, along with Wimbledon and Blackburn, and we've finished pretty comfortably in the end. We've not been that far away from 50 points. So look, 51 points would have got you, or 52 points would have got you in the top half. So all in all, I feel like that's a pretty decent first season. Let's just have a little click through the news. Blackburn relegated, Chelsea relegated. We've been given 1.5 million for finishing in 15th, so that's not a lot. Let's give it one click. What I'm going to say is just thank you very much. The last episode, that I did was one of my best performing episodes of the series so far, and we've managed to get a load of new subscribers. So hello to you and thank you to everyone who's been commenting. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to do a wrap up now because it's the end of the episode. I'm going to do a season wrap up and a press conference on Monday. If you would like a question answering at that press conference, just put it in the chat and I will answer them. If there's none, I'll make the questions up. So don't think you can get out of watching a pretend press conference just by not asking any questions. But what we'll do is we will go through, we will have a wrap up, we will look at some stats, we'll look at how the season's gone, top scorers, talk about the signings, and just do an end of season review because a few people requested that we don't really do this. And then we'll have a talk about what we are going to do going forward. But thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you on Monday.